Good morning, folks. My name is Kurt Hitzemann, County Court Judge here in Hernando County. You folks are here for your first appearance. The purpose of the first appearance is so that you may be informed of the charges against you. I'll determine if there's probable cause for those charges. Probable cause simply means that it's more likely than not that a crime has occurred, and more likely than not that you're the person who committed that crime. Of course, as you stand before me this morning, I presume that you're innocent of those charges. The presumption of innocence will stay with you through every stage of the proceedings unless and until the state attorney's office is able to prove the allegations against you beyond and to the exclusion of a reasonable doubt. We will set your conditions of pretrial release this morning, that is your bail or your bond. In most cases, you've had a bond set already pursuant to the bond schedule here in the 5th Judicial Circuit, or the warrant which led to your arrest. I'll determine if that bond should be raised or lowered or left the same, or whether there'll be additional conditions of pretrial release placed upon you. We'll let you know when your next court date is. And if you'd like to have the services of the public defender, I'll gladly appoint the PD to represent you this morning. You do have a right to have contact with folks on the outside, family, friends, counsel. If you haven't had a chance to make that call, let me know. We'll make sure that that happens. Finally, and most importantly, you're advised that you do have an absolute right to remain silent with regard to the facts which surround your arrest. I encourage you to do that. These proceedings are recorded. In addition, there's an assistant state attorney in the courtroom with me. If you say something that tends to incriminate you, they will use it against you in the prosecution down the road. And I need each and every one of you there at the jail to please raise your right hands and be sworn. You all solemnly swear affirm, tell the truth, whole truth, none but the truth. Outstanding. When you hear your name called, please step forward to the podium. Michaela Carter. Morning, Miss Carter. What's your date of birth?
8894.
Miss Carter, you're here on a warrant out of Polk County.
Yes, sir.
Apparently you failed to appear on some misdemeanor charges. Looks like possession of marijuana, possession of paraphernalia. The judge that issued the warrant set the bonds on those at $1,000 each for a total of $2,000. I do not have the ability to change those bonds. If you can post the $2,000 here, then you can get out of jail and go to Polk County and find out when they want you in court. If you do not have the ability to post those bonds, we'll let Polk County know that immediately. I'll give them 5 days to come pick you up. If they have not picked you up in 5 days, they'll bring you back to see me, and I'll find out what the holdup is, or if they're still coming, or what's going on, all right?
Yes, sir.
Very good.
Thank you.
Yep. Stephanie Marasco. Morning, ma'am. What's your date of birth?
6/12/73.
All right. And, ma'am, we've got a couple issues for you today. First is a warrant signed by Judge Merritt because you failed to appear during a return to jury selection, apparently, in your trial on charge of driving on a suspended license. And then we have a possession of methamphetamine, possession of drug paraphernalia. There's probable cause for those. You're going to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Hire private counsel.
Very good. Obviously, the bond on Judge Merritt's failed to appear warrant is no bond. I'm not going to change that. You're going to be back in front of him on that charge on November 28th. Make sure that you tell your private counsel about that date.
Okay.
And then on the new charges, I'll leave the bonds per the arrest affidavit, which is $8,000 on the meth and $2,000 on the paraphernalia. I'll send those also back the 28th of November, since you're coming back to felony court that day anyway. Make sure you tell your lawyer everything's coming back on the 28th of November, all right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Right.
Misty Nace.
Who's this? I'm sorry.
Misty Nace. Misty, what's your date of birth?
9578.
Misty, this is a probable cause arrest for violation of probation. There is probable cause for that charge. As to that charge, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Or would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. Bond on the VOP, of course, is going to be no bond. I will send you back to see Judge Merritt on the 28th of November. They told you December 4th. The right date will be November 28th, and the PD will come see you before then, all right?
All right, thanks.
Thank you. Timothy Connor. Morning, Mr. Connor. What's your date of birth?
10/15/70.
Connor, you're here on a warrant that I signed. I found probable cause for 4 counts: sale of heroin, possession of heroin, unlawful use of a two-way device, and possession of drug paraphernalia. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself, you want to hire private counsel, or would you like the public defender?
I already have a conflict attorney for my other cases,
Okay.
so
All right. And it looks like he has all sorts of open felonies.
Oh. Yeah.
Just tell me when it's coming back.
11/17.
Okay.
I have all the case numbers if you want them.
Yeah, I got them here too.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, is this right? Yep. 9 open felonies?
Yeah.
And he was out on bond?
He wasn't out.
He wasn't
One.
out
He's been,
for a while.
says he's been in custody.
When did he first get arrested?
Let's see. Which case? 24/17. The date of offense is 8:30. The cases that he was in on 2141 is from 8:30. 2143 is from 8:25.
Okay, that's and this warrant is it relates to events on August 30th.
On August 30th. But there's other ones from his 2015 and 16 cases are all.
Well, there's a number of them that predate the August time.
Many of them, yeah.
Okay.
15 CF 1003, 16 2503, 15 1152, 17 1115, and 17 293. Those are all from August. April.
Are there, Christy, are there bonds set on all these cases? Are any of them at no bond already? No. In any event, go ahead.
Sorry, from the most recent, and then going from the most recent up, 2143 has bonds, 10,000 count 1, 2,000 count 2.
Okay. What I'm kind of interested in is the stuff from before.
Okay.
How about 15 CF 1003?
Yeah,
1,003. Okay.
go there.
Figure that's an older
There's
one.
no bond on that case, and a number of the other open.
That's what I would think.
2000.
When he came in at the end of August, the older cases would have been RCO'd at that time, and now he's just been sitting.
1,003, that's correct.
Okay.
No bond?
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So,
Great, thank you.
Tim, what we'll do on this is leave the bonds per the warrant, which is 2,000, 2,000, 5,000, and 1,000 respectively. I will move these cases to the 17th of November, where your other cases are. All right.
Okay.
Thank you. Joey Dennison.
Were we appointed on the time?
I clicked your box because he said he had conflict counsel. So.
And did you see 1117 on it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mr. Dennison, what's your date of birth?
April 16th, 68.
All right. 2 charges this morning, sir. Ag assault being domestic in nature and battery being domestic in nature. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself, you want to hire private counsel, or would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. State what you tell me.
I can tell you that we just recently dropped a domestic battery against this person within the last 2 or 3 months. He's got a history that includes, besides the dropped one, violations of probation, drugs, including hallucinogens, meth, paraphernalia, multiple paraphernalia charges, violation of probations, another prior battery that was dropped, and that's all within the last 6 years. And then he has some older history from the 90s with some drug charges.
Okay.
And the one that we dropped apparently is the same victim. So,
Mr. Dennison, I have an address for you on Briarwood Lane in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been there?
About 10 years.
You have a job these days?
Since I'm in here, I'm fired.
Okay.
So,
All right. On the aggravated assault, I'm going to set the bond at $5,000, on the battery at $1,000. Condition of those charges is that you have no contact with Ruby Workman. No contact means no contact of any kind. You don't call, you don't write, you don't email, you don't text message, you don't contact her through any social media. You don't have a third person contact her. You don't go where she lives. You don't go where she works. You don't have any contact of any kind. Any way that you can imagine having contact with her, I forbid you to do that. If you have contact and we find out about it, your bonds will be revoked and you'll be held without bond until the charges are resolved. It means no contact even if she wants the contact. So if you answer your phone and hear her voice, you should hang up. If you're out and about and see her, you should turn around and run the other way. You need to understand hang on a second. You need to understand that she cannot drop the charges against you. That's not a decision she's allowed to make. She may go to the state attorney's office and ask them to drop the charges. She may tell them she's not interested in pursuing this matter, but that decision belongs solely to the assistant state attorney handling the case. So unless that person or the judge on your case tells you the charges are dropped, you should assume they're not dropped and you should not have contact. In addition, I've got to hold you at the jail today up until 4 p.m. so that if she wished to serve you with a civil injunction for protection against domestic violence, we'd know where to find you. If you get the civil injunction, it's doubly important that you not have contact, because in that case, not only could you get your bond revoked here, but you could get new charges for violating the injunction. You're going to be back in court on the 4th of December. If you're able to bond out, you should go see the public defender right away. If you can't bond out, they're going to come see you at the jail. Do you have a question for me, Mr. Dennison?
yes. She took a knife and stabbed it and tried to hit my heart. When can I get her for attempted murder?
You certainly, if you wish to file a report with the sheriff's office, you can do that. I know they knew about that last night and declined to arrest her for anything like that. So all I'm doing is telling you what you were arrested for. It may, in fact, have been karmic justice, but time will tell. Thank you very much.
I'll be arrested on the false.
Angelo Franco.
that's what happened.
Morning, sir. What's your date of birth?
6/13/78.
Angelo, you're here on this warrant for failing to appear in front of me on a charge of driving on a suspended license. Status, can he resolve his case today? He's suspended for tickets.
He's suspended for what?
Just tickets.
Alright.
Can you time serve?
Judge, you're going to do what you want anyway, so whatever.
Angelo, you want to take time serve?
Sure.
I'll tell you his history. He's got
Any violent felonies?
99 arson, I don't know the results, an FTA in 12, and a theft in 16.
And the 12 was Dwellis. So, but right now he's got 4 unpaid tickets.
Alright.
Angelo, you stand by entering a plea today. You give up the right to have a trial by jury, the right to confront the witnesses against you, the right to remain silent, the right to have a lawyer represent you, but you want to give up those rights so we can resolve this case today.
Yes, sir.
Case number 17CT420. As to the charge that you drove knowing your license was suspended or revoked, how do you wish to plead? You can plead no contest.
Yes.
I'll accept the plea, find it's freely and voluntarily made. I will adjudicate you guilty of the charge, sentence you to 2 days in the county jail, credit 2 days served. There'll be a fine and court cost of $438 in your cost of incarceration. That takes care of it, Angelo. If there's nothing else keeping you in the jail, you can be released today, all right?
Thank you.
Thank you. Charles Levesque. Morning, sir. What's your date of birth?
3/17/90.
All right, Charles, this morning I've got fleeing to elude, driving on a suspended license as a habitual traffic offender, reckless driving, and leaving the scene of an accident. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Or would you like to appoint the public defender?
PD.
I'll appoint the PD, Steve.
Driver suspended, failures to appear.
All right, hold on. He's got an open case for a CT case, which I assume is a dweller.
Yeah, 17 CT 683.
Yeah.
That's set for
1/11.
1/11/18.
Right.
That's a dweller from February.
Is that a, anybody tell me, is that a Tuesday or a Thursday?
I don't know. From 2018.
It's a Thursday.
That tells you what it's for.
It tells me it's not a driver's license case. It's a regular retrial.
Uh-huh.
I'm just curious as how he got all the way up there.
Yeah. Can we figure out what his charges are?
I'm sure it's a dweller.
It's one of the second offense. I looked at the dispo from the other day. I want to say Attorney Peel was assigned to it. I don't know if he requested.
Oh, well, that probably would be it, because I don't think they were coming in December. You have private counsel on your other case, Charles?
Yes.
Okay.
Did we request that he be RCO?
Or I'm not going to do it, but I'm going to move him
Thank you.
up.
Okay.
I'm going to grab that other case. I'm going to no bond him on the old case, but move it up and get them in here so we can
I'll call Matt
talk
and let
about
him know.
what to do with Charles.
Yeah.
Okay, so are you planning to get private counsel on these, Charles? Or you wanted the PD, you said?
I'm gonna go with the PD right now.
Okay, I understand. All right. And is 4 December my arraignment day? Or is it Judge Ruby?
I think the 4th of December is the felony date.
Oh, it is. It is a
12/6
felony day.
Tuesday.
Okay, 12/6. And that's where the one misdemeanor still is.
I don't know why they separated these out.
I don't either. Well, I have a theory.
Yeah.
Okay. On the first three, Charles, what I'm going to do is leave the bonds per the arrest affidavit, which is $2,000 on the 2 felonies and $500 on the reckless driving. That's a total on those of $4,500. That's coming back on the 4th of December. Then on the new misdemeanor that's separate, the leaving the scene, I'm going to set the bond on that at $500 and have that back on the 6th of December. And then, job number 1 when you're out on bond on a criminal charge, which you are, is don't commit new criminal cases. Certainly don't commit the same thing that you're out on bond for. There's reason for me to believe that that's happened. So pursuant to Florida Statute 903.0471, I'm going to revoke your pretrial release in 17 CT 683, which is a driving on a suspended license case currently set for January 11th. I'm going to move that case to the 6th of December. You're going to be on no bond then, at least until the 6th of December. By then, you'll have been in felony court on the felony charges, and then you'll see me again on the 6th on your misdemeanor charges. We'll let your private lawyer know in your old case that we've moved your case so that they can send somebody to see you then so we can perhaps revisit bond or get your cases resolved or something like that, all right?
Okay.
Thank you. Christopher Pollock. Want to, sir, what's your date of birth?
1578.
Charges, 2 charges today, Christopher. Battery being domestic in nature and resisting without violence. There's probable cause for those 2 charges. As to those charges, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
PD.
I'll appoint the public defender, Steve.
Mr. Pollock has a very long history going back to the mid-90s. Thefts, DUIs, failure to appear, more thefts, pot, trespass, stealing stolen property, grand theft, petty theft, disorderly intox, resisting without, cocaine, resisting with, a couple more resisting without, criminal mischief, He's been to prison. He's committed battery in law enforcement or firefighter. Dwellers, resisting without, trespass.
That's good.
Thank you.
Christopher, I've got an address for you on Grant Street in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
Yes.
How long have you been there?
2 years?
You have a job these days?
No.
Set your bond at $1,000 on each count. That's a total of $2,000. Condition of the bond is that you have no contact with Wanda Robinson. Were you listening earlier when I explained what no contact means?
Yes.
And you understand that?
Yes.
Also have to hold you up until 4 o'clock, so if she wants to serve you with a civil injunction for protection against domestic violence, we know where to find you. I'll have you back in court on the 6th of December. If you get out, it's very important that you go and see the public defender right away, all right?
Okay.
Thank you. Todd, Rick? Morning, sir. What's your date of birth?
13067.
All right. Todd, I have a warrant for you out of Pinellas County. It's a bail to appear warrant. The judge had signed it and set your bond at $225. If you can post that bond, then you can get down to St. Pete, find out when they want you in court. If you can't post that bond, I'll give those folks 5 days to come get you, all right?
Okay, yeah, I can't post it.
If you let them know that, then we'll notify Pinellas right away and get them up here as quick as we can, all right?
Okay.
Thank you. Sean Skerritt. Morning, Sean. What's your date of birth?
8/11/68.
Sean, I have 4 probable cause arrests for violations of probation. 3 of these cases look like you were sentenced in Pasco and supervised here, and one of them looks like a Hernando County case. Does that sound right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. There is PC for the violations of probation. As to the Hernando case, you want to represent yourself, you want to hire private counsel, would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the public defender. The bond, of course, is no bond. That case is coming back on the 4th of December, and the public defender will come see you before then. On the 3 Pasco cases, I'm also going to set the bond at no bond. So how it'll work for you, Sean, is that you'll stay here until you get your Hernando case resolved. When that one's resolved, then they'll transport you to Pasco to deal with those, all right? Thank you. And Kassar Thompson.
You know, sir.
Good. What's your date of birth, sir?
09/28/95.
Charges violation of an injunction for protection and 2 counts of resisting without violence. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself, you want to hire private counsel, would you like the public defender?
To represent myself.
Okay. And state what keep telling.
Sorry, what?
Hang on.
This is the resisting. He has a failure to appear from earlier this year. DUI. 2014, failure to appear.
I beat the DUI.
Just hang on.
Resisting without, loitering and prowling. All within the last 5 years.
And sir, I have an address for you on Cedar Crest Loop. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been there?
4 or 5 months.
You have a job these
6.
days?
I just got fired like 2 days ago.
Okay. I'm going to set your bond at $1,000 on each count. That's a total of $3,000. Condition is that you have no contact with. Looks like your mom. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. No contact with her or with that address at Paddle Point. I will have you back in court on the 6th of December. They might have told you December 9th. The right date is the 6th. And we'll see you then, all right?
All right, thank you.
Thank you. And that should do it, right? Great.
Yep.
All right, thanks, folks.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you, Judge.